Welcome to Everything's Not Black and White with your hosts, Lala and Brian.
What's up, everybody? It's been a minute. How y'all doing? We've missed you. So glad you're still with us. Welcome to the new episode of ENBW today. We are super excited. We have a multi-hyphenate person here today. This person is a comedian, a dancer, a writer, a poet, an overall just amazing human being that I've had the pleasure of getting to know over many years through our adventures in creative mornings and all things entertainment-wise. So I would like you all to give a big old ENBW welcome to Leslie Battle.
What up, what up, what up? How we doing?
Welcome to the show.
Whichever day this is you're listening to this.
Yes, we're so glad you're here.
Yes.
And you are probably one of the most multifaceted, interesting people that I know. And every time we spend time together, we get on so many tangents of wonderful stories because you are so many complex,
I have
beautiful
a few.
levels.
I have quite a few. What's really exciting for me right now is I'm actually walking into it. I spent a lot of time denying it. I spent a lot of time saying, like, there were people who knew me for years who didn't know that I sang at the Bengals game.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like, how did you not lead with that? Like,
I know, right?
Is that not?
Yeah, well, you bury the lead a lot. I mean, that's the thing.
I do bury the lead a lot, but the lead shifts. The lead shifts. So whatever is priority for me in that moment tends to be what I am taking as the lead. I really got in this thought pattern that once I accomplished something, it was over and done. And I didn't talk about it. And that was kind of coupled with this desire that I developed to not be conceited. And I was confusing talking about things I'd actually done with being boastful. And it's just like, but if you did it, it ain't tricking if you got it, right?
Right.
So,
I mean, you got receipts. Like,
right.
Like, I earned this.
I'm so weirdly in a pics or it didn't happen phase now, but I also have so many pics.
Yeah. Right. Right. I mean, you got to have that. I love when my OneDrive says this memory from this year, and it goes all the way back to however many years since I've had OneDrive, and that's kind of cool, actually.
It is. Although I'm not a fan of the cloud, though. Like, it creeps me out a little bit. And then sometimes they'll send me a picture, and I'm just like, I remember this, but I don't remember this. What was this?
Yeah. That's like I am with names. Like, people like, hey, Mom, like, hey, baby, how you doing? So that's the beautiful things about being Southern, because you could just be like giving those lovely little monikers like, oh, hey, sugar, how you doing? And they think it's just part of my natural personality, and I just don't remember who you are.
My brain don't let me do that. I give myself 10 seconds. If I haven't figured out the name, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't remember your name. And they'll be like, that's okay. I don't remember yours either. So we good, right? Like, it works.
La uses me when she can't remember her name. She'll walk up to me like, I don't remember her name. Can you ask them? So I'm the one who looks like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So.
We can also blame it on your chemo brain, which is also, the one plus about having cancer.
Yeah, hanging on to that.
But I mean, how many people do you meet in a week, right?
Oh,
Because
so
poor
many.
Mike, oh my gosh, he's forever just like. And then I have like multiple friends with the same name, so he's just like, is this Columbus Sue or Dayton Sue?
Oh yeah.
Is this Chicago Maria or is this Belly Dance Maria?
Exactly. We do the very similar thing. We do the Black Tracy. Is it Sweet Marie? Which one is it? Like, we're always doing that too. So yeah, I'm glad other people do it besides us.
It's a thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's beautiful.
It's absolutely a thing.
Well, take us back to little Leslie.
Ooh.
Tell us where'd you grow up? Tell us some of the things about yourself, because I know one of the really interesting thing is I know you were in the service at some point. So thank you for your service. But
You're
take us
welcome.
back to little Leslie.
Oh goodness, little Leslie. I was born in Houston, July 31st, 1970. Don't bother doing the math. It's okay. I'm just glad I was born in a year that ends in a zero. That like makes it so easy.
That's right.
And I was a gifted kid. I come from a family of educators. So instead of go outside and play, it was like, ooh, Leslie, come read this book. Like, I'm reading to adults. They can all read, but they're just like, oh, look at how great she reads. And I'm just like, I want to go pick berries. What are we doing? But my mom had some pretty significant psychiatric issues. She was in and out of inpatient care for, majority of my childhood. So my grandmother pretty much took responsibility of me and my older brother, who I was raised with. But, I was kind of nerdy. We didn't have cable. So
as did most of us now.
I mean, that was like, oh,
but
you got money, you got cable. Like, that was a rich person's thing, because cable.
Look, when Tyler got another channel, everybody was just like, what?
Listen.
Because we're only 100 miles east of Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem with being in a town of 75,000 people, but it's only 100 miles east of Dallas, you still think it's Hick Podunk, right? Like, you're just like, this little burg, you know. And meanwhile, people from the burbs are just like, ooh, Tyler's where it's at. And like, everybody from Tyler would go to Dallas and everybody else would come to Tyler. So, I mean, people are still making money. That was it. But yeah, graduated high school in 1988, went to basic training 10 days after my 18th birthday.
Wow. Was that a dream goal of yours? Do you have family in the military, or what made you want to go?
I didn't want my grandma to pay for me to go to college with her fixed income. Yeah. I felt like she had raised her kids, and then she raised her kids' kids, and I had the academic stuff that I was just kind of like, you know, I'll join the Army and sow my wild oats and get all that out, and then people around here won't know what's going on. And I stayed for 26 years because I don't know what a Midwest goodbye is. Wow.
It's almost like a Southern goodbye.
It was something.
I better let you go. And then about 45 minutes later, you're still talking.
Oh, so, goodness. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. But I did 13 active duty years, transferred to the Ohio Guard right before 9/11 happened, like the May before 9/11 happened. So when 9/11 happened, and everybody's just like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? Like, this guy's just like, y'all literally paid tax money to train me to do the job that I do. Like, I would think you would want me to make good on, you know, that promise. But after 9/11, went back to school, got my degree, got commissioned as a communications officer. I enlisted as a medical lab tech, but I got commissioned as a communications officer, and I retired from the Guard in 2015. Ooh, I skipped a whole bunch of stuff. Little Leslie grew up and got tired, just like that. Shortest memoir ever.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's pretty layered right there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you thinking through all of that, you know, what did you think that the biggest, I guess, takeaway lesson or surprise you had by serving in the military? What is something that I don't know, changed you for the better, I'd say?
Well, it's serving me now, and I would say that I didn't realize it as an 18-year-old, but I seem to have, typically I would try something and somebody would say, how long have you been doing that thing? I just follow directions. To me, I'm just following directions. Everybody's just like, oh, you're a natural doing this, you're a natural doing that. And so that's a great portion of how I come to be a multi-hyphenate person. Like, one of my coaches is just like, Leslie, the problem that you have is you try something, but you're good at it. Usually people try something and it's not so great, and so they just like focus on the thing that they're already good on. But no, you try singing and you can sing, and then you try dancing and you can dance, and you've been comic and you've been acting and it's just like, I just follow directions.
I think that's wonderful. I mean, I think it's such an interesting thing for you to say, because I think a lot of people think if you're not born with this certain talent, you can't do it, right? But if you can learn anything, what practice makes, you know, better. I won't say perfect, because perfect is not a thing, but practice makes you better. And so the more you do something, you will get better at it.
I will add to that, if you give yourself grace in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think that for a lot of people, and I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not hard on myself when I'm learning something, but you have to like give yourself the patience of, okay, I didn't start out doing this. And especially, you know, once you're, you know, well into adulthood, if you're trying something well into adulthood, it's your child mind is got all of these like hard pathways now that you got to overcome. So giving yourself patience. But it's funny, I was just listening this morning to a master class about brain health. And evidently the science is that the more you do challenging things as you age, it's like training your brain to keep building pathways.
Neuroplasticity.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So I was just like, oh, look at me. I'm going to live to be 100. Remember all this bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I'll forget it. I'll do enough that I'll forget it, which makes me very happy.
I want to have a healthy balance between still being happy and not knowing what crazy people are doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of wildness going on. But,
yeah.
You know, I think it's so funny that you talk about brain health, because I've been really back into this self-care healing journey. And I tell people right now that if it's not about peace, joy, and healing, I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to have anything to do with it. You know, there's enough going on that's hard in the world that I only want to give positivity. I want to give people peace. I want to give people joy. And we have to heal, because this world is hurting.
Absolutely.
Talk about hurt people.
What I would give for there to be some kind of way to get everybody on board was spending just a day or two and acknowledging their own trauma.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge it. I'm
Yeah.
not saying unpack it. I'm not saying, but there are so many people that are so hell-bent on terrorizing other people because they won't just acknowledge their own trauma.
Fact.
It's like, look, what happened to you, this person ain't have nothing to do with what
That's
happened
right.
to you.
Can
you at least acknowledge that you need to work on yourself just a little bit? Like, if you ain't going to work on yourself, then identify yourself as somebody who ain't going to work on yourself. But if you could just like be like, oh, you telling me if I face this thing and I figure out how to acknowledge where I was in that moment and give myself grace or forgiveness for not knowing what I didn't know in that moment, I could actually like be nice to people. Bitch, yes. It's like
that part.
I mean, not to oversimplify, but for real, if you could
It's
just
true.
see the humanity in other humans, you wouldn't want so much to hurt them.
Yeah.
And I just don't. And look, I'm so mad at so many veterans right now. Do not get me started. One of my friends that works at the clinic over here, she was like, yeah, they were marching. They were marching through the VA when he won again.
Wow.
And it's just kind of like, and like they were getting emails that was just like, so expect for people to be rowdy, expect for people. What?
Yeah.
So all of our discipline and everything out the
window.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
But I don't smile at somebody quick enough and I'm an angry black woman. If y'all don't.
Right. I mean, listen. Well, we're in the upside down, as they say, in the Twilight Zone. I'm ready for Rod Sterling just to come and do a voiceover.
It's
I'm
some
like,
lady with a
listen,
teacup just ding, ding,
I
ding,
know.
ding.
Facts. Facts. GTFO, as a matter of fact.
Oh, my gosh. I have to tell you something funny about GTFO. This will crack you up. So belly dancing, right? I've been belly dancing for the past couple years. And at the end of a show, when we've done like a multi-number show, we have this real pretty music that we take a bow to, right? And the way that we count it is step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bow 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, GTFO 5, 6.
I love it.
Whatever works.
It's so much fun.
It's a
so
beautiful
much
thing.
fun.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, that honestly is a lovely segue because, we talked about the multi-hyphenate thing of you, and you said the last couple of years you're doing belly dancing. But when did you first find out that you had some hidden talents, or how did you go to discover those hidden talents?
My talents never got to hide.
Okay.
Because I was the little girl in church who could remember all the lines. So first, second, third grade, I would be the one getting the play parts that were the most. Although ironically, in fifth grade, I misspelled a head, and this is 50-something years later, and I'm still mad about it.
You always remember those. You always remember those words,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
But now my older brother was a drummer in the band, and I was so jealous because he was so cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to middle school, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to play in the band, right? And so first I tried playing the flute. I hyperventilated playing the flute.
Oh, no.
Then I went to the clarinet, but everybody's flute or clarinet, right? Everybody's flute or clarinet.
Much, yeah.
So then we got this one band teacher who was not a nice man. And he was just like, well, I want you to play the French horn, and I want your grandma to pay for lessons, and blah, 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 blah. And it was just like, bro, it's just not even that serious. But the thing is, I had an opportunity in sixth grade. The choir teacher let me audition for her, and she was like, I would love to have you in the choir. And I was just like, well, I can't do choir and band. I could have done choir and band, but I didn't believe that I could do choir and band, so I chose band. And my life would probably be totally different if I had chosen choir.
Yep.
But that same year, we had a talent show, and I decided I wanted to sing Fame, Irene Cara.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
The way I tried to eat that microphone. And like one of my classmates, hey, Teresa, one of my classmates played piano for me while I was trying to sing. And I just kept like, the microphone just kept, and this one coach kept like coming up and bringing it away from my face because I was like trying to eat the microphone. And I got through the song, but it was just kind of like, yeah, we will never speak of this again. And then I did. And here's a funny thing. So I started doing stand-up in 2011 after my second divorce, right? Mm-hmm. And I was just like, yeah, this is a new thing. This is a brand new thing. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. I did a stand-up set when I was a freshman in high school. And part of the reason that I buried that is because I stole my older brother's sweater. Sorry, Noah. And why would you get a pink cable knit sweater? All of his frat boys, they all had these cable knit sweaters, and each one was a different pastel color.
Yeah.
And he got pink, and pink was my favorite color. And I was just kind of like,
then he
bro,
was just
come on.
asking you to take it.
Right.
I mean,
so
come on.
I made it a point to abscond with that, to do the stand-up set. The only joke that I remember was something about Richard Simmons' hair having birds in it.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was my boyfriend back in the day.
I mean, but yeah, that, you know, it was so memorable that I completely forgot about it until after I'd been doing comedy for years. And I was like, oh yeah, there was that thing that I did. But yeah, I've kind of added things, and like as an adult, I was pondering this today. I've often sought out opportunities to act.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in Germany, so this was like 98, 99. I got to play Puck in A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, fun.
It was so much fun. The
That was very
director,
fun.
his vision was great because Oberon's fairies were bikers and Titania's fairies were flower children. And so it was like set in the 60s instead of like the
fun.
traditional. Oh, it was so I was wearing a daishiki and combat boots.
Nice.
And this fake ponytail, and when I'm gonna have to I believe I have those pictures on my hard drive. I have to send you some of the stills from it.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah, so I kept telling myself I couldn't be an artist because I couldn't afford to live as an artist, but I always sought out doing creative things, and then I would minimize doing the creative things because it wasn't my livelihood.
Yeah.
So, like, fast forward to the Bengals game, like I was on temporary active duty for the Guard, so I was working in admin, working in the recruiting battalion, and our public affairs like chief for the headquarters was like, "Hey, would you like to sing at a Bengals game?" And I was just like, "Who's gonna say no to that?" Like, why?
I know.
If it's an invite and not a tryout, then heck yeah,
I mean, absolutely.
I know there might be a few Bengals fans who are just like, nah, I'm gonna skip the game altogether.
Well, the thing for me, at that time, Ohio had recently gotten its first woman adjutant general, who was like the senior officer, Deborah Ashenhurst, wonderful human being.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just pretty much like set, like, if she's ever in the house, I cannot let her down. So everybody's like, yeah, there's going to be 60,000 people there. I'm just like, yeah, but they ain't my general.
Right. I'm only supposed to impress one. So
I mean,
the other five,
you know, if everybody else.
999, I don't care.
But like the young lady who was my, I'll say air quotes, handler, right? Like there's a person who makes sure that you're where you're supposed to be. And I was like, well, can I bring my kids? And they were like, sure, you can have guests or whatever you want to do. I'm like, you bet, I'm finna be cool mom for ages, right?
Yep.
And so my kids were with me, and we're on the 30-yard line. And the lady who was my, guide, she was just like, okay, so look, you're going to look up at the Jumbotron, and we're going to have a flyover. So there's going to be a plane coming at you, and they're going to be showing it on the Jumbotron because it's going to look like you got two planes coming at you. So don't look, right? So here I am going into the, the great finale of the song, right? And eyes just glued in the wrong place. Like, whoa! So
sure you looked at the planes.
You can't really see it in the video, but I just like forced my eyes down because it was like, why did you do that? But finished the song and then ran off the field, and it was a good time.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, I always say, one step outside of your comfort zone is where all the magic happens. And so I tend to always just go after opportunities, even if I have to create them myself. And I figure if they say no, I'm no better, no worse. The life still goes on. But if they say yes, what an adventure and what a story that will come from that.
I think that's one thing a lot of people have especially me, a lot of social anxiety, a lot of fear of like trying something new. And if I'm not familiar with it, I tend to want to pause and hesitate. What do you do that allows you to have that courage to take that step and not worry about whether you succeed or fail?
FOMO is a hell of a drug. It's so many times in my life I've said, if I'm 80 years old on a rocking chair on a porch and I look back at this moment, will I be happy with what I did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, because now, girls a little bit more mature, like, the body don't want to do all the things. And so there's definitely some things that like 20-year-old me would have been like, yeah, you should try that. And 50-year-old me is like, bitch, no, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Like, no.
So, but I do, like Law said, so many stories. And I mean, even my current marriage is one of those stories, because I absolutely could have been like, nope, I'm out. I can't do this dating thing no more. People are garbage, blah, 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 blah. But this one guy said the right thing at the right time. And what he told me was, you need to be in an environment where you can flourish.
Yeah.
And I'm
Love
like,
that.
what?
I know.
Who's doing that?
I know. That's that guy over there, man. Same with me. I mean, I laugh because we've been together 17 years now, which that has eclipsed anybody I've been with for 16 and a half years. Because my longest relationship prior to Brian was about 3 years, but it was just so fraught with just so much pain and confusion and frustration and anger. Like, we should have never been together at the end of the day. And I just kept trying to force it. And it was just like, it was dumb.
But that's what society tells you to do.
Dumb.
Too.
Yeah.
That's what society tells you to do. Everybody's like, oh, well, now you together. Man, not if we got together under false pretenses.
Right. That's right.
And don't get me started about it. That's what a lot of our episodes of As Yet were about, was just like, make sure that what you want is what you want and not what somebody else, because that's not going to live for long.
That's right.
If you're doing something that, somebody else wants for you and they're not in your head living your life, it's not going to last for long.
Yeah. That's real facts. Yeah. Yep. But it's always good, I always believe that the right person who's supposed to be in your life be in your life. And that's relationships, friendships, work, all the things. I laughed when I first started college. I was supposed to be communications and public speaking. Then I got into it with my dean of the school, and then I'm just like, you can take this major and shove it. And then I switched majors into travel and tourism, because then I wanted to be a travel writer. So this was before Scripps Howard had all of their fun stuff with the Travel Channel. So I thought I was going to do that, and I didn't end up doing that. But funny thing, here we are back 30 years later, and I'm doing the public speaking that I was always going to be doing. So when something is for you, it is absolutely for you.
And it's gonna keep coming back.
That's right. It's gonna find you. Yes.
But I'm kind of mad at some of these lessons. I'm like, I thought I learned that.
Yeah.
Why are we back? Who made that U-turn? I was doing good.
Those sneak up on you sometimes. I tell you, they sneak up on you
and swat you on the back of the head.
Yeah. So one of the things that I absolutely admire about you, I mean, obviously you turned 55 this year, and you did 5 for 55. So can you tell the audience a little bit about what you did with that, which I thought was really cool?
Oh, because I'm such an underachiever. And here's why 5 for 55 happened. When I turned 50 was COVID. So I was going to do a big to-do for 50, and then COVID happened. But, finances were right, this, that, and the other, right? So fast forward to now, I'm in a much healthier, situation. And I was like, I didn't get to celebrate 50. I should do 55. 55 is good, one of those numbers that's cool,
Double
right?
nickels. Yeah.
Right. And I had, in those 5 years, done a podcast, done 2 plays, 3 plays, and I started belly dancing and started drumming. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, what if I put a show together where I did all these things that bring me joy? Especially, we're talking this summer after, last fall. Yes. And there's a whole bunch of people who's just like, we don't want to see black people no more. Oh, no, motherfucker. You getting the Samuel Jackson out of me on that one.
Listen, that part.
And so I was just like, well, what can I put in a show that would showcase all my talents, but also be entertaining for everybody? And so I was really thinking it through. So I was just like, well, and what's so funny, I came up with the 5, right? So that was the play, reading my poetry, belly dancing, doing some stand up, and closing with the drum circle, right? And then everybody's like, but you gonna sing, right? Oh, yeah, we gonna sing. So we opened the show with Lift Every Voice, and then we did the short play, and like I described. But it's funny because before, I was telling people about the show, trying to sell tickets, whatnot. And they were just like, oh, my God, how long is that show going to be if you're doing all that? Bro, I'm 55.
Right.
Okay? We going to do 5 minutes of each thing, and we getting the fuck out of there.
Right,
We ain't trying to be here till 2 in the morning.
Exactly. Shit, people going out at 10. 10? I'm rolling over at 10. Stop.
Nope. You ain't doing it.
Stop.
So, yeah, well, it was closer to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the play was roughly 10, and I was so empowered by how supportive people were of me, because clearly if I'm doing a play, I'm not doing a play by myself. If I'm belly dancing, I'm not belly dancing by myself. I can't do a drum circle by myself. And so there was so much community. And one of the things that was so beautiful for me the night of the show was people who knew me from drumming got to meet people who belly danced with me. People who knew me from Creative Mornings and so all of these creative people from all these different disciplines were in the same room, just enjoying it. My belly dance teachers were just like, oh my God, we can't wait for the show because it's going to be so great. And it's just going to be so good to see you all do all these other things. And it felt good.
It
But
did.
then at the end, I was just kind of like, oh, I didn't plan out telling everybody to get up out of here. I was just like, well, we're done. Y'all still sitting down? I thought y'all be tired by now. Like,
well, it was highly entertaining and everybody enjoyed it, and it was an opportunity to showcase all those multi-hyphenates and why it's such a beautiful thing when you live your full purpose and live in joy, because then you bring others joy as well.
But you know what's really funny? So many people have never seen me with makeup on.
I know. They're like, who
see me
did
with makeup on? They're just
who
like,
I remember when you came over a couple weeks ago and I met you. I'm like, oh, like she looks familiar, and like I'm not used to seeing you with clothes on because you're belly dancing and you got makeup on. Like then all of a sudden it dawned on me, like, oh, that's Leslie, yeah.
Yeah, I be all kinds of incognito. Well, what's really fun? So I just cut my hair like 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And so before that, I had like micro locks that were like down between
yeah.
my shoulder blades, and I wasn't wearing glasses, right?
Right.
And so, COVID happened, everything. And I had like stepped away from comedy. I was a little disenchanted with comedy because, where you have people who can run amok, they will run amok.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go places because, like I said, I stepped away from comedy. And so here's this lady with short hair and glasses, and people are just like, Leslie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, switch it up.
Same face.
Switch it up.
But it's the same face.
Listen, girl, I just took the braids out my hair this weekend, and people are like,
Huh?
what? And like, yeah, it's me. Listen, I got to switch it up sometimes.
Must be such a burden to have to deal with hair all the time.
Oh, I know. It's
Jeez.
so hard. Anyway.
I keep saying I want to grow mine out, but with me maintaining my hair, I'm just like, why do I keep saying that?
I
Because
know.
then when I really got to dig into it, it's just like, oh my gosh, if this was
It's
3
so
inches
much
longer,
work.
I'd cut it.
I know. That's why I feel like it's funny because every summer I usually grow my hair out, and every winter I cut it, which makes no sense. When it's the
Okay,
coldest,
yeah, I don't understand.
When it's the coldest, I have no hair. So don't ask
Although,
me. I don't know why I do that. But
This
I do it.
year, I might still be holding on to heat because now the heat flashes are hitting. It's like,
Oh.
Man, listen.
I'm just like,
I have
why?
my
I'm
own
just
personal
minding my
summers.
business. I'm
Listen.
sitting here minding my business, and all of a sudden my body is just like, hey, it's 300 degrees.
Yes,
right now.
exactly. And like,
Why?
it's so
Rude.
funny. I was giving a speech the other day, and I just started sweating like crazy. I was like, damn, you almost think I'm lying. I'm sweating like I'm lying. It's too hot up in here. And people were cracking up. But like, oh, honey, it's real.
Hey, a little PSA out there for all the men. When your women are going through that, be supportive and ask questions and see if they're doing all right, because
Exactly.
it is a process they're dealing with.
Thank you, baby. That's
we
why
ain't
you're the
even
best.
gonna be mad at you that you had to hear it from Brian.
I know.
to
Facts.
do it.
He's such a good guy. He does
Hey,
it.
I'm only repeating it because I heard another gentleman who was trending on TikTok or something mention that. So
Yes.
I'm like, oh, man, this is a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, that's totally great. I love
Thank
that.
you.
I
Thank
love
you for
that. I
that.
love it. So what I'm very excited about is that you are a poet as well as all the other hyphenate things that you're doing, and you're getting ready to launch your first poetry book. Is that correct?
I am. The working title is Caution Reconstruction Zone, and as long as I stay on task and don't decide to scrap it and do something totally different. Well, I'm close enough. So I've been involved in an incubator program through Streetlight Guild. Shout out
Awesome.
to Scott Woods, Streetlight Guild, Sayeri Ayers for facilitating the program. Sue Flat gets a shout out because she's been on my back for I don't know how long getting a book out. Just off of my Facebook post, like, we'd love to read a book from you. I'm like, all right. But I am using this collection. Actually, some of these poems are a decade old or more.
Yeah.
That I wrote when I was basically like trying to intentionally recover from the aftermath of my second divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And so the chapters are loosely based on stages of grief. So the first one I just call Surviving, and it's just poems that I wrote that were like directly recounting different traumatic events.
Yeah.
And then the second one I call Righteous Anger, and these are just all of the I really wanted to punch you in the neck, but I'm not going to do it because I don't like jail.
And we got to hear some of
poems.
that, so there should be a cautionary
Yes.
sign before we start reading it.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, there's some anger there, and then I have I call it Feelings. I'm probably going to change the name of that chapter because that's not quite what I'm trying to get to. But right now it's Feelings, and it's just processing like depression and basically the point of the book is my goal as a poet, my artist statement as a poet is that I would love for people to read my work and not feel as alone. Because I remember feeling alone when, going through stuff.
It's hard.
So,
it's hard. Well, I appreciate your vulnerability to talk about it. I mean, that's one thing I always tell people. I said, if you can have humility, vulnerability, and authenticity, you could do so many things in this world. And it's back to your earlier statement about not only providing grace and space for yourself, but being able to do it for others as well.
Yeah.
And understand we're all a work in progress.
Yeah.
We're all a work in progress.
Yeah.
So when can we expect this poetry book to come out? Because
That's
I
such a good
want
question.
it to come out.
Yeah, put it on tape.
I haven't. Well, I am very. I'm definitely contemplating doing the audiobook as well. Because
Yeah,
why
for
not,
sure.
Right. But I'm hoping like springtime. I actually haven't still decided whether or not to self-publish, so that's gonna determine the arc of timing.
Yeah.
But we're actually going to have a public reading of our cohort. There's me and 5 other poets in this cohort. I believe it's going to be at Streetlight Guild. I believe it's going to be December 7th. I believe it's on their website. So streetlightguild.org, I think, is theirs.
We'll make sure we find it and put it in the liner notes so that people can connect with you.
Cool.
And come and see that.
And if you do want to self-publish, La has a wealth of experience in that area. What book did you
know.
write, La?
I wrote my book, Your Own Biggest Cheerleader.
That's right.
Hey.
Self-advocacy and,
Out there on Amazon.
And stepping out, doing your own thing, and not letting anybody hold you back from all the dreams that you have for yourself. I mean,
and that's such an important message right now. That is such an important message right now because there's so many people who want their word to be the thing that stops other people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what? Why am I going to listen to you and you ain't doing nothing?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like who are you listening to?
Right.
That thing. So so we want to definitely support you with that. And I just want to tell people you did this really cool thing when we were at Creative Mornings several days, and she has this book binder with all her poetry in it. And so she just like randomly turned to a poem. And it was so ironic that every single time somebody did that poem that they read was exactly what they needed to hear that day. It was wild.
It's literally turned into kind of a tarot thing for folks, which excites me a lot because there was definitely a part of me that was like, some of these poems like don't need to, and then somebody would read it and be like, oh, I needed that. And it's just like, well, that's staying then.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how it works. I mean, that's the thing. You have so much to say and you encourage and empower people just by being yourself. And that's why I love authenticity so much. And after being in corporate as long as I was and people trying to change who I was, the fact that I can live my fullest, most authentic life now and people literally are drawn to that, that's a beautiful thing.
It's amazing,
It's a
isn't it?
beautiful thing. Yeah, and everybody should experience that.
Agreed.
For sure.
Agreed.
So if people want to get in touch with you, how can they follow you? Are you on socials? Are you like standing on the street corner putting up posters? What you doing?
The standing on the street corner is a good idea. I have a website, and it's just my name, lesliebattle.com. And I have everything laid out there. You get a little bit of a bio there, and you can contact me through that. That's just kind of the easiest way to do it. I am on socials. I should not be on socials. I need to put my phone down yesterday.
Yes, let people come and find you. Yes, understood that. And I'm super excited. One of the things that our audience needs to know is that Leslie and I will be doing a joint podcast coming up in this new year. And we're going to be all over the place, y'all. And I think it's called All Over the Place. And it might be that because we'll be talking about all kind of cool things just to be
just a
bringing
couple of
some
Gen
stuff
X
in the
women
world.
trying to navigate this here Midwestern expanse of insanity.
Yes, that and then some. So we're very excited about it. So we'll let y'all know so y'all can tune in and catch us wherever you enjoy your podcasts. And Brian, how can people get in touch with us?
Hey, great. Everybody can reach out at enbwpodcast@gmail.com if you want to be a guest or if you want some just an inquiry or whatever. That's where you can reach us at.
It's wonderful. Leslie, thank you so much for your wit and your wisdom. You're
Thank you.
always a wonderful person to be around. So thank you for that.
Well, unless I'm on fire.
If you're on fire, I will make sure I throw some water on you.
I'd be grumpy
or
when I'm on
something,
fire.
or maybe not asbestos, because I think that puts out fire, but it'll choke us. So let's not do that.
We just want to create realistic expectations for
Correct.
folks, that's all.
Correct. It's fine. It's fine. So thanks everybody for listening. We'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.
See you.
Bye.